What is right is not always popular, and what is popular is not always right. Only dead fish go with the flow.
Your greatest self has been waiting your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer.
Sometimes the best of God's gifts arrive by the shattering of all the window panes.
A man who does not know his weaknesses will never understand his strength. A humble man will always receive the best that others have to offer, for he recognizes the truth.
Time always exposes what you truly mean to someone. Genius is measured not by static volume, but by kinetic vision.
People will not remember what you did for living. They will remember how you touched them with kindness and loving. Anything that smiles often needs to be reminded that the world is a cruel, dark place. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle.
Nature's pleased with simplicity, and nature is no dummy.
We have been called to heal wounds, to unite what has fallen apart, and to bring home those who have lost their way. What doesn't quicken dies. That's an indisputable truth of life. We all need people who will give us feedback. That's how we improve. We take greater pains to persuade others that we are happy than in endeavoring to think so ourselves. All the world is queer save thee and me, and even thou art a little queer. Everything you'll ever need to know is within you. The secrets of the universe are imprinted on the cells of your body. Create a vision for the life you really want, and then work relentlessly towards making it a reality. Never underestimate the power. You have to take your life in a new direction. Selling my soul would be a lot easier if I could just find it.
It does not matter how long you live, but how well you do it. Glory resides in the hearts of those you inspire, not in fleeting moments of fame. It is hard work and great art to make life not so serious. Other people's opinion of you does not have to become your reality.
Perhaps the truth depends on a walk around the lake. If you aren't willing to work for it, don't complain about not having it.
When the going gets weird, the weird turn professional. Shoot for the moon. Even if you fail, you'll land among the stars. The cost of being wrong is less than the cost of doing nothing.
Life is to be lived, not controlled, and humanity is won by continuing to play in face of certain defeat. What comes easy won't last. What lasts won't come easy. If you don't want anyone to know about your existence, you might as well kill yourself. You're taking up space, air. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
Everything that is done in this world is done by hope.
If you don't care for obscenity, you don't care for the truth. If you don't care for the truth, watch how you vote. Sometimes you get pushed out, not because you're not worth it, you are worth more. Youth cannot know how age thinks and feels, but old men are guilty if they forget what it was to be young. The more I live, the more I learn. The more I learn, the more I realize, the less I know. Life is something that happens when you can't get to sleep. Of course, there is no formula for success, except perhaps an unconditional acceptance of life and what it brings. To all appearances, he was just drifting. In actuality, he was just drifting.
Before you find your soulmate, you must first discover your soul.
Though all men be equally frail before the world, the differences between them are terrifying. If fighting is sure to result in victory, then you must fight. Feel free to argue with the man with a gun. Only make sure there are no bullets in it. I want to build to that mogul, legendary level.
I've had a lot of worries in my life, most of which never happened.
There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. When you are on your path, and it is truly your path, doors will open for you where there were no doors for someone else. You don't have the right to complain about your life if you're not willing to change it. Never be embarrassed to struggle. There is absolutely no shame in working hard to get to where you want to be.
Life is not measured by what you have. It's measured by what you give. Be like seeds. Do not see dirt thrown at you as your enemy, but as ground to grow.
We are the sum of all people we have ever met. You change the tribe, and the tribe changes you. Beware of those who are bitter, for they will never allow you to enjoy your fruit.
We may be small, and we may be young, but we will shake the world for our beliefs.
The world is merciless, and it's also very beautiful.
The truth doesn't cost anything, but a lie could cost you everything.
I will be able to forecast which side will be victorious and which defeated. We could never learn to be brave and patient if there were only joy in the world.
Prioritize your physical and mental health. They are your most valuable assets.
The peak efficiency of knowledge and strategy is to make conflict unnecessary. If you ever find yourself in the wrong story, leave. Sometimes problems don't require a solution to solve them. Instead, they require maturity to outgrow them.
At some point, we all look up and realize we are lost in a maze. Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens.
I've heard that the soul often recognizes truth when it hears it, even if the mind does not. You cannot score a goal when you are sitting on the bench. To do so, you have to dress up and enter the game.
He who controls others may be powerful, but he who has mastered himself is mightier still.
Wisdom comes to us when it can no longer do any good.
One need not destroy one's enemy. One need only destroy his willingness to engage.
Where there are bees, there are flowers, and wherever there are flowers, there is new life and hope. I want to show the world how darkness can sometimes be so beautiful.
History, Stephen said, is a nightmare from which I am trying to awake.
Knowledge, like air, is vital to life. Like air, no one should be denied it. The truth doesn't always set you free. People prefer to believe prettier, neatly wrapped lies.
Silence is a true friend who never betrays.
Be a person of substance to people, and not someone they wish they never met. I have learned now that while those who speak about one's miseries usually hurt, those who keep silence hurt more. What saves a man is to take a step, then another step. If life's an exercise in making memories, no one really goes away as long as they are remembered. I can be forced to live without happiness, but I will never consent to live without honor. Your past is a place to learn and grow, not a place to live. Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. I need to stop fantasizing about running away to some other life and start figuring out the one I have.
But if a villain can be made, then they can be unmade. Follow your heart, then root its longing with the facts.
Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Whatever happens to your body, your soul will survive, untouched. To lose your path is the way to find that path.
Face your life, its pain, its pleasure. Leave no path untaken.
The timing of your struggle depends on how resistant you are to your molding. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. Stop telling people everything. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. With faith, discipline, and selfless devotion to the duty, there is nothing worthwhile that you cannot achieve. Doing the best at this moment puts you in the best place for the next moment. Never allow others to create your world, because if you do, they will always make it too small. The boy and his heart had become friends, and neither was capable now of betraying the other. If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. Please go for your dreams. Whatever your ideals, you can become whatever you want to become. Don't go on discussing what a good person should be. Just be one. The things you do for yourself are gone when you are gone, but the things you do for others remain as your legacy.
Your sacred space is where you can find yourself over and over again.
Good people are good because they've come to wisdom through failure. We get very little wisdom from success, you know. We cannot face up to what lies ahead without facing up to what lies within.
Thus the expert in battle moves the enemy and is not moved by him. All is mystery, but he is a slave who will not struggle to penetrate the dark veil. Better the comfort of a lie than the absurdity of the truth.
Don't be discouraged if your effort does not yield desirable result. Good thing, take time.
Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Creativity is intelligence having fun.
Dead yesterdays and unborn tomorrows, why fret about it, if today be sweet? Dedicate yourself to what gives your life true meaning and purpose. Make a positive difference in someone's life. Those who don't value their words will never value your wishes. Life is short. Focus on what really matters most. You have to change your priorities over time. When something ought to be true, then it proves to be a very powerful truth. There are no classes in life for beginners. Right away, you're always asked to deal with what is most difficult. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat. Being ourselves was the easiest path to choose, although not the easiest to see through till the end.
I'm not going to die. I'm going home like a shooting star. Be wiser than other people if you can, but do not tell them so.
We remember the past, live in the present, and write the future.
That as long as we are being remembered, we remain alive.
Simple the life, simpler will be your instincts. The laws that govern the universe will obey your simplicity. I said somebody should do something about that. Then I realized I am somebody. Sorrow looks back, worry looks around, faith looks up. Life is about accepting the challenges along the way, choosing to keep moving forward, and savoring the journey.
If you correct your mind, the rest of your life will fall into place. It is not worth the while to let our imperfections disturb us always.
Don't worry about the challenges. Get excited about the rewards of crushing them. That's what fiction is for. It's for getting at the truth when the truth isn't sufficient for the truth. I distrust every idea that doesn't seem obsolete and grotesque to my contemporary. The danger today is in believing there are no sick people. There is only a sick society.
Consideration for others is the basis of a good life, a good society.
Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Men occasionally stumble over the truth, but most of them pick themselves up and hurry off as if nothing had happened. That which can be destroyed by the truth should be.
If you concentrate on small, manageable steps, you can cross unimaginable distances.
Don't let your luggage define your travels. Each life unravels differently.
For a word to be spoken, there must be silence, before and after.
I don't fit into any stereotypes, and I like myself that way. Win in your mind, and you will win in your reality.
Not all things that fall down break. Some develop wings.
If you live for people's acceptance, you will die from their rejection.
Perfect happiness is the absence of striving for happiness. The nourishment of body is food, while the nourishment of the soul is feeding others.
Some things aren't meant to be known, only believed.
Peace proposals unaccompanied by a sworn covenant indicate a plot.
Focus your heart, mind, and soul on joy, and you'll find ultimate success and fulfillment. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. Make your interactions with people transformational, not just transactional.
If truth doesn't set you free, generosity of spirit will. The scholar does not consider gold and jade to be precious treasures, but loyalty and good faith. Don't stop when you are tired. Stop when you are done. If they don't like you for being yourself, be yourself even more. Where humanity sowed faith, hope, and unity, joy's garden blossomed. Become braver, stronger, wiser, kinder, and you will become better. People say that life is the thing, but I prefer reading.
I have often wished I had time to cultivate modesty, but I am too busy thinking about myself. Everybody gets so much information all day long that they lose their common sense.
Do good, live in the most positive and joyful way possible every day. I cannot teach anybody anything. I can only make them think.
Before wanting to feel at home with someone else, learn how to feel at home with yourself. Life is too short to waste your time on people who don't respect, appreciate, and value you. Sometimes it takes years for a person to become an overnight success.
If you think you have enough knowledge, you are still ignorant. Always be a learner.
Do not fear to be eccentric in opinion, for every opinion now accepted was once eccentric.
Contentment is natural wealth. Luxury is artificial poverty. You know you made it when your friends tell their friends that you are their friend.
Einstein said that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. In a very real sense, we have two minds, one that thinks and one that feels.
Feel your emotions, live true your passions, keep still your mind.
Getting something and having the wits to use it. Those are two different things. Facing it, always facing it, that's the way to get through. Face it.
I'd rather hear an ugly truth rather than an obscure lie.
You should expect mistakes in your life. Mistakes are expected, inspected, and respected. You know, I think that only if one feels immensely important can one feel truly light.
If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle.
All you know is what you think you know, but that isn't always what's real.
Don't fear big. Fear mediocrity. Fear waste. Fear the lack of living to your fullest. If you believe you can, you might. If you know you can, you will.
There is no shelter from the willful blindness of a politician.
Some people could look at a mud puddle and see an ocean with ships.
Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner.
Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations.
If your dreams don't scare you, they are too small.
Without local guides, your enemy employs the land as a weapon against you.
You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one.
Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity.
These inspired futures hold futuristic inspirations. You don't believe things because they make your life better. You believe them because they're true. It might be possible that the world itself is without meaning. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. What would come, and you would have to meet it when it did.
Receive with simplicity everything that happens to you. Mist to mist, drops to drops, for water thou art, and unto water shalt thou return.
Don't let yesterday take up too much of today.
Faster, faster, until the thrill of speed overcomes the fear of death.
I want to keep my dreams, even bad ones, because without them I might have nothing all night long. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. Being angry, resentful, or saddened by rejection can suck the sweetness out of acceptance. You define your own life. Don't let other people write your script.
True friends are always together in spirit. Lucy Maud Montgomery.
You're always going to have people who aren't happy for your success, but only you control how you respond to it.
I could die for you, but I couldn't and wouldn't live for you.
I would rather die of passion than of boredom. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own.
For them to perceive the advantage of defeating the enemy, they must also have their rewards.
Success is what happens after you've survived all your mistakes. Life might take you down different roads, but each of you gets to decide which one to take. Sadness is sometimes the start to eternal happiness. One of the most important things in life is family. If your origin is bad, it will affect your future negatively. If a man is to shed the light of the sun upon other men, he must first of all have it within himself. It takes guts and humility to admit mistakes. Admitting we're wrong is courage, not weakness. When you came, you cried, and everybody smiled with joy. When you go, smile and let the world cry for you. If people make fun of you, that probably means you're doing something right.
It is hard to fail, but it is worse never to have tried to succeed. Reason may be employed to support faith as well as to destroy it. There's nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough.
Leaving your religion and having to invent your own system of values is a big deal after all. The greatest thing in the world is to know how to belong to oneself. No man ever threw away life while it was worth keeping.
The truth is the kindest thing we can give folks in the end.
Bad men rule by the feebleness of the ruled, and this is just. the triumph of weaklings would not be just.
Never feel guilty or ashamed for the mistakes of others.
What you do doesn't frighten your enemies as much as what you are. I had learned that when you want something really good for you, you must work hard for it, or you must pay for it. No life is a waste, the blue man said. The only time we waste is the time we spend thinking we're alone. The man who has some respect for his person, keeps his carcass out of sight, hides himself as perfectly as he can. A goal without a plan is just a wish. Wisdom is not a product of schooling, but of the lifelong attempt to acquire it.
When a wise man points at the moon, the imbecile examines the finger.
One swallows the lie that flatters, but sips the bitter truth drop by drop.
To bear and not to own, to act and not lay claim, to do the work and let it go, for just letting it go is what makes it stay.
Atheism, a religion dedicated to its own sense of smug superiority. A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. How much you can learn when you fail determines how far you will go into achieving your goals. I do not know what the heart of a rascal may be, but I know what is in the heart of an honest man. It is horrible. I don't want to be a tree. I want to be its meaning. A lie can travel halfway around the world, while the truth is putting on its shoes. All the world's a stage, and most of us are desperately unrehearsed.
The control of large numbers is possible, and like unto that of small numbers, if we subdivide them. Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness.
Our business in life is not to succeed, but to continue to fail in good spirit. Paradoxically, though it may seem, it is nonetheless true that life imitates art, far more than art imitates life. Life equals running, and when we stop running, maybe that's how we'll know life is finally finished. Every day is a bank account, and time is our currency. No one is rich, no one is poor. We've got 24 hours each.
What we can change is our perceptions, which have the effect of changing everything.
Only the hand that erases can write the true thing. Be not afraid of life. Believe that life is worth living, and your belief will help create the fact. Life has more imagination than we carry in our dreams.
It is said we learn more from our failures than our successes.
A man is never more truthful than when he acknowledges himself a liar.
If you wish to be out front, then act as if you are behind.
We testify of what we have experienced and witnessed. May our testimony inspire others to share their story. Beliefs are choices. First you choose your beliefs, then your beliefs affect your choices. All progress takes place outside of your comfort zone.
You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
Violence is spiritual junk food, and boredom is spiritual anorexia. No matter what happens or how bad it seems today, life does go on, and it will be better tomorrow. Meditation is a way for nourishing and blossoming the divinity within you.
Money is better than poverty, if only for financial reasons.
What you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create. The problem with people is they forget that most of the time it's the small things that count. 1,000 words leave not the same deep impression as does a single deed. Imagination is cheap as long as you don't have to worry about the details. Great leadership is always coupled with the mindset, motivation, and momentum of great service. If you have not done things worthy of being written about, at least write things worthy of being read. But in the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. Searching outside of you is samsara. Searching within you leads to nirvana.
The more powerful the class, the more it claims not to exist. Great men are like eagles and build their nest on some lofty solitude.
Maybe the truth is, I really want to like you instead.
We need to renew ourselves often. Even temples need renovation.
Water and air, the two essential fluids on which all life depends, become global garbage cans. The day you become old is the day you're not looking for new experiences anymore.